Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about relationships. I have been requested to make a video about relationships, how to navigate them, the ending of relationships, the beginning of relationships, finding someone, how not to find someone, how to avoid the wrong people, and how to attract the right people. So, as you can see, today's topic is very, very loaded. So I just want to get into it with a few key. First of all, I have an opinion. Our generation is absolutely cooked when it comes to relationships, or at least I believe most of us are choosing to be cooked when it comes to relationships. A lot of you guys don't understand what relationships are supposed to be at all. And it's not exactly your fault, but you're keeping yourself caged in a certain mentality about relationships. And I see this literally every time I go onto the internet. Like, for instance, TikTok. Every single time I log into TikTok, I'm always seeing these kind of debates about relationships and just all this discourse about relationships and all these problems. And it just seems our whole Gen Z, our whole generation is just totally misguided when it comes to relationships. And I'm not absolutely not saying that the older generations knew a damn thing about relationships either. Most of our parents are divorced. Most of our parents are either divorced or hate each other, have no love for each other. It's actually very, very uncommon to find a couple that is happy, no matter how old they are. But basically, in this video, I just want to kind of give some advice on how you can firstly get over heartbreak and your exes and all that fun stuff. That is something I'm really going to get into today. And another thing is how to find someone, because I feel like a lot of people are like, I can't find anyone, nobody loves me, I keep getting rejected, my crush doesn't like me, whatever, that type of stuff. So I'm going to touch on that type of stuff and try to give you a little guidance, especially as someone who has been in a long-term relationship for 3 years. I want to kind of give you the guidance on how to enter a healthy relationship. First, I'm going to get into exes and failed relationships, rejection, and that type of stuff. Personally, me, I have never been the type of person to be like, oh my God, guys, a Mercury is retrograding. It's time to go back to my ex. No, I've literally never been that type of person. Even if Mercury isn't retrograding, I've never felt the urge to get back together with someone I had either had dumped me or I had broken up with. And although I've not had a huge amount of self-worth my whole life, when it came to relationships, I kind of knew that when they were done, they were done. And I think that is something that a lot of you guys struggle with. And I'm not here to judge, but I'm here to be real with you. You can't constantly look in the past. When it comes to relationships, you can't constantly be looking backwards. Where's my ex? Where's my ex? Where's my ex? Oh, what about that girl that I liked in middle school? I wonder if she still likes me. Or what about enough? Enough. You can't keep going back to these people because it's never going to work out. It's never going to work out again. Your time with them has passed. That's why a lot of people who constantly rekindle their relationships with their exes, it never works out because that relationship wasn't meant to be in the first place. There's a reason that you two separated. There's a reason. Personally, me, I've always been the type of person who detached instantly as soon as a relationship ends. Instant detachment. That is something that you will have to learn. If you have trouble separating from someone and staying away from them, you literally simply have to learn to detach. And for me, it did come kind of naturally. Most emotional relationships of my life, I've been able to completely detach the second day. And yeah, sometimes you'll cry for a week. That's happened to me as well. I'm still human, guys. That's happened to me. But after that week of crying, it is time to move on. And there are many, many ways to do this. For instance, you could get any hobby. Literally, put that focus that you're having on that person who doesn't want you and you shouldn't want them. Put that focus into something that can build your skills or your passion for literally anything. You could start painting or crocheting or whatever you want to do. You could start, I don't know, playing video games. And a lot of you guys are like, oh yeah, I game to forget. Stop it. Just stop it. You sound like a beta. Just stop saying that. Stop saying this shit. I go to the gym to because fuck my ex. You're gonna see when I level up. Stop trying to prove yourself to your exes. You're never getting over them because you're always trying to prove yourself, or you're trying to, I don't know, create a huge level of pity surrounding this relationship ending. Like, she ruined my life, so now I just game and I game all night and I ruin my own life. She didn't ruin my life, I ruined my own life. But you love to blame it on someone else because you're not taking the accountability that you need to take after a relationship has ended to move the fuck on. I'm sorry to say it, but that is truly what's going on. I'm sorry, but that is true. If you cannot take accountability for yourself, and you always have to shift the blame onto your ex or the girl who broke your heart, stop it. Get some help. Do something else. It's really, it's sad to see. You know what I mean? I hate, personally, I hate witnessing it because I don't feel bad for you. And I promise you, tons of people, everyone in the whole world, no one feels bad for you. None of them feel bad for you. None of them feel bad for you. No one's ever going to feel bad for you. So you have to remember that and use that as motivation to move on. That nobody's going to feel bad for you or think you've proven yourself when you like get super buff instead of like, I don't know, like running your emotions when the emotions come. Pushing back your emotions, especially after a relationship, is not the way to do it. Yes, detach, but you have to experience those emotions. Just don't like drag it on for months and months and months where everyone is getting annoyed at you because you were constantly talking about your failed relationship from 6 months ago. You know what I mean? That's not how you move on. That's not how you work through your emotions. I actually think detaching is healthier than that. Completely detaching is healthier than that because that shit, first of all, it's annoying for everyone around you. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear it. Okay. That's why other people are getting poon and you're not. You know what I mean? Because you're always pushing the blame on the person who ended the relationship, or it's just, it's a lack of accountability and also a fear of confronting those hard emotions. It's going to be fine. I know in the moment, it truly feels like the world is completely ending when you end a relationship. I have been a detacher, but I've also experienced that where it literally feels like nothing is going to be okay again. But guys, the last time I experienced that was when I was like, what, 14 years old, my first relationship, when my first relationship ended. After that, because I dealt with it in a healthy way, I literally got over it in a week because that full week, I literally thought my life was ending. I literally thought I was going to die. But I didn't ignore those emotions. I felt those emotions completely, just completely and fully. I felt those emotions. And then after that week, I was like, oh my God, everything's okay. Everything's okay because it's also you placing more importance on another person than yourself. And that's never healthy. I don't care. I don't care what it is. Unless you're like a parent and you have to take care of a baby and have to help it survive, then putting more importance on another person than yourself is never going to work out for you. It's never ever going to work out for you. You're going to first of all resent them, which just makes you more obsessed with them, thinking about them all the time. Especially if you resent them, you're never going to get them off your mind. Just take the small L. It's not even an L. You'll probably get to like a better place because this relationship ended. Once you move on from a relationship that wasn't serving you, you will find relationships that will serve you. But the first thing is, I guess what I'm trying to say is detach from the situation as soon as you feel your emotions. Feel those emotions for a week, detach. It's over. Don't immediately go start searching for someone new. That's not healthy. Don't immediately go searching for someone to fill that void in you. Okay, it's not going to work. Don't go to your friends and complain to them for 6 months. That's also not going to work. You're ignoring your emotions, and honestly, at that point, you're just attention seeking. You're attention seeking, and no, and everyone can see through that. They can see that you just desperately need attention. And you're probably lacking that attention from the person who just left you or you left them or whatever the fuck happened. That's what you're doing. You're literally just seeking their attention and their love, and you're putting it on other people who actually don't give a shit. When you actually instead could be making a healthy decision for yourself and moving the fuck on. I you know, This video, I think you were clicking on this, hoping that, oh, this information is going to change my life. And you know what? I hope it does. But I'm here to tell you the reality. It's that simple. It's that simple. If you were not happier in the relationship, or even if you were, if that person wasn't happy in the relationship, why the fuck are you holding them hostage? Leave them alone. They're unhappy with you. That's why they left you. That's not necessarily all your fault, right? But then again, what's the point in staying in a relationship where the other person isn't happy? Because you wouldn't stay in maybe you would, which is a whole other story. Like stand up. Stand up. If you're not happy in a relationship, leave it. If you can't work it out, then leave it. There's a certain amount of working out. People will try to work out a relationship for a decade, and guess what? That's Hey, the time limit has passed. You know what I mean? The resentment has built up. It's pretty much a lost cause. You can go to couples therapy if you want. It doesn't really work. You're just putting all your hopes on another person because you think that you can't do any better and you can't start over and you can't do. It's just everything truly boils down to a lack of self-worth. Imagine that. Everything truly boils down to a lack of self-worth. The reason why you keep coming back to that person who you were in a relationship with before, an ex, the reason why you keep going back to your ex is because you lack self-worth. And the only way that you can feel worthy in yourself is by how they make you feel, how another person makes you feel. And guess what? That's literally temporary, so temporary. It's a temporary bandage over your heart. That's all it is. It's not fixing anything. You're going to start leaking again, buddy, and it's not going to be fun. Another thing, though, I'm going to try to make you feel a little bad about this. The reason why you keep going back to your ex is because it is convenient and you don't want to put yourself out there because that is inconvenient. And I honestly think this whole generation, we have a big fucking problem, guys. Everything is too convenient. You guys don't even meet people outside. We don't meet people outside anymore. We don't talk to people because it's inconvenient for us and makes us feel socially anxious. It's bullshit. You're holding yourself back by making excuses and by being, I'm not going to say lazy, but it's giving lazy because the only reason I already know them. I've already spent so much time with them. Getting to know someone new is so much work. That's basically all it is. That's basically all you're doing. You might not even love that person. You might not love that person. You might not actually love them. That ex that you keep going back to and can't get enough of. They're just extremely convenient for you. And if you think about it, that's really shallow. That's extremely shallow. And you're not thinking about anyone's feelings in that equation. It's just a quick fix. That's not really a fix. It's a quick. It's just a quick thing. That's all it is. And it will be over. And if it's not over, if you keep going back to your ex year after year after year after year, my ex, my ex, my ex. Also, I'm so sick of you guys talking about your exes. Shut up. Shut up about your exes. Nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares. Stop. You're holding people hostage in these old relationships that never were gonna work out. And then you come crying when they don't work out. Move the fuck on. Move the fuck on. There are so many people alive on earth today. You could go anywhere. You could go to any country in the world and meet someone new by chance, but you decide not to because it's inconvenient. And I think it's a little pathetic. Not putting yourself out there obviously stems from low self worth and also a little bit of laziness because, oh, it's inconvenient. Well, you know what's even more inconvenient? The amount of stress and pain and all those terrible feelings that you will get hanging on to someone who you're not meant to be with. That's going to be more inconvenient. Actually, that'll cause health problems. You will probably have a stroke or a heart attack at an early age because you are trapped in a toxic relationship with someone that you low key hate, but you're not opening your eyes and realizing that you hate them and they hate you. Okay? It's not love, it's hate. It's not love, it's the hate that brings you back together. And so I guess sexual convenience, which I think is so shallow. Think about how shallow that is. I've slept with them before, so they'll sleep with me again if they're feeling desperate. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing when you're constantly hooking up with your exes. Get a grip. Okay? Get a grip. I don't think it's healthy, guys. I think we need to stop normalizing this type of stuff. And I hate saying the word normalizing, but I think we really do need to stop normalizing this type of shit. Okay? It's enough. It's enough. And I don't understand it. I don't understand how you can do that over and over and over again and not go absolutely insane. And maybe you are going insane. So that is why I'm urging you to stop it and move the fuck on. Because the longer you do this, the longer you keep yourself stagnant. You're the same person because you want to be the same person that your ex knew back then, right? You want to be the same person so that they'll come back to you. You know what I mean? You don't want to be a different person. What if they don't like me as a new different person? Who cares if they don't like you who cares if they don't like you, period? Who cares? They don't care. They're on their third, fourth rebound. You know what I mean? They don't care. And you're sitting there sulking about someone who doesn't care about you. Think about that for a second. Let that sink in. They couldn't have been that good. Everyone is a human being, right? Everyone is a human being with flaws. Every single person you will enter a relationship with will have flaws. You will never find the perfect person because the perfect person doesn't exist, right? So what does it even matter? Does that make sense? Why does it matter if you were rejected by this girl? Why does it matter if your ex has broken up with you 1700 times? What does it fucking matter? It's time to move on. That's simply it. You need to take a look at yourself and realize that you matter more than what you're putting out there. You're giving people the impression that you don't think you matter. That's why your ex keeps coming back to you, because they're like, this person is desperate and has a low self-esteem and low self-worth. It's super easy to get in their pants, super easy to fucking, I don't know, get an emotional high until it goes down the drain because you guys weren't meant for each other, and you're always going to go back to that toxic place. It's going to go down the drain. It's not the happy time isn't going to last very long. So just fuck it and move on. There's so many people alive. There's so many people on this planet. You're wasting your time where you could be meeting your soulmate. You could literally meet your soulmate, but you're wasting your time with someone who you're never supposed to be with. Never. And then what happens? I don't know. You could get trapped in that relationship. Keep screwing around with them, you could get trapped. And then you end up like those people. Either there are two separate people. The people have been fiancés for 12 years, or old people who have kids accidentally and then get divorced or just resent each other for the rest of their lives. Do you want that? When you could find true love. It exists. Obviously, it takes work. It can't be as convenient as hitting up your shitty ex for the 20th time. It's not that convenient. But why is it about convenience? Why is finding love about convenience now? Think about that. Why is that the thing? It shouldn't be. And you don't have to live like that. You don't have to believe that. You don't have to buy into that. You also don't have to buy into this toxic relationship propaganda. People romanticize having a shitty relationship with someone who doesn't give a shit about them, who cheats on them, who fucking abandons them, who fucking, I don't know, does all these terrible things, who abuses them. You know what I mean? I feel like we romanticize it to cope. It's the people who are coping who are romanticizing it, and then they're making other people think it's okay, but they're just coping. So don't listen to the ones coping. Why are you listening to the ones who are taking their copium when you could just not be experiencing all those horrible things with those horrible people, and you could be meeting someone good? You could be meeting someone that aligns with who you are as a person too. I feel like everyone's looking for the wrong thing in relationships now. We're really looking for the wrong thing. We're not thinking about, and like, not in a religious way or like Christian way or something weird. I'm not trying to be weird. I'm not religious, but I do think like values are a really important thing to focus on in relationships, guys. I'm sorry, but thick thighs goth mommy, but she's toxic. I love toxic girls. I love girls who are abusive to me and that I can abuse back. I love that dynamic. It totally doesn't make me miserable. You're lying to yourself. You've been fed a specific fucking flavor of love and relationships by the internet, and you think, oh, that's what every guy says. That's what every guy says. I have to like a toxic relationship, or that's what every girl says is attractive, is a toxic relationship. Form your own opinions. Have your own values and develop your own type. It doesn't have to be, you know what I mean? Develop your own tastes in relationships. I feel like you guys are just, it's just like a dick riding marathon. I don't know how to explain it, but I just, you're, first of all, it's super shallow that you're putting whole groups of people, like women, for instance, in these specific boxes of my type is an e-girl Belle Delphine. My type is a fucking mommy goth, a toxic mommy goth. My type is a fucking fashion nova girl. I don't fucking know what even is this shit. Like this shit isn't real. Uh, you're looking for the wrong shit, and then you're like, why aren't my relationships working out? Because you're looking at people like, I don't know, like archetypes, like characters, when they're people. You know what I mean? Just because a girl wears, like, I don't know, fishnets doesn't mean that she's like a toxic, fucking, I don't know. I'm pissed off that you guys are devaluing other human beings so much and then wondering why your relationships don't last, because you're not seeing them as people. And it's the same thing for, like, I guess it's the same thing for women and guys. I don't know. But what I've seen is a lot of dudes really, really upset that their relationships with toxic goth mommy don't work out, when that's how you refer to a woman and you expect your relationship with her to work out. I'm sorry, but people generally want to feel like people in relationships and not like a fantasy. You're basically treating the person you're in a relationship like a fetish, some weird fetishy thing. It just, obviously, no shit, it's not working out. I want a thick Latina, a spicy thick Latina. You guys are just literally saying stereotypes and being like, that's what I want from my girlfriend. Okay, so you want your life partner to be a stereotype? I don't understand. I really just I'm not understanding the logic here. You could spend 20 years with someone. Think about what you're looking for. You know what I mean? If the only thing checking your box is uh mean, thick Latina, there's something wrong with you. This is not knocking Latinas or goth girls, anything. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I guess women are people. I don't know. Is that a crazy thing to say? And that when you treat people like people in relationships, it usually works out. It usually works out. Yeah. When they don't feel like a product or a fantasy, they usually feel appreciated in the relationship. So that's just one piece of advice about, you know, dealing with people just generally. I feel like a big problem that we have for relationships is none of you guys know how to talk to people. None of you guys know how to approach people. None of you guys know how to treat people like another human being in front of you. It's truly bizarre, and it's like a problem that we're having. And I'm not even just talking about, oh, if you have anxiety disorder, you're a bad person. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you guys don't know how to talk to people like they're people. You've let the internet completely brain rot you to the point where you don't know how to talk to women or men, or you don't know how to talk to anyone. You don't know how to talk to anyone in real life. You put yourself out there in the real physical world, and you don't know what to do with yourself. So one thing that will help you with relationships is getting the fuck off the internet. And one thing that could help is don't be a gooner. Get off of Twitter. Twitter's probably the worst place you can be if you don't want to be alone forever. Get off of Twitter. Get a life. Get some hobbies. And before you know it, people will actually be interested in you. Yeah, people will be interested in you. And once you also get off the damn internet, you'll start seeing people as people again and realizing that everyone's a fucking person and everyone is different. And no matter how they dress or what their ethnicity is, they're never going to fit into that box that you want to fit them into. And that's okay, because everyone's a person and everyone's different. And once you stop expecting people to be a certain way, there's a lot less disappointment as well when it comes to finding someone to love. You know what I mean? It's a lot less disappointment because you're not expecting something that's totally, how do I say, what's the word? Completely and utterly unrealistic and stupid. Okay? It's stupid. It's actually dumb. Okay? And that's what I want to say about that, because it's kind of been irking me. Basically, hearing people being played off as products, and then people feeding into that they're a product, they're an e-girl or whatever. It's just a big fucking problem, and I think it's a big thing that's holding you guys back from finding people, because you're making them feel like a product. But I also did want to talk about desperation. Okay, So when it comes to like relationships and attraction and all that type of stuff, people often talk about how, well, I'm not attractive, so nobody find me attractive because I'm gonna give you the secret. Okay? First of all, I grew up super fucking ugly by society's expectations. So ugly, the point where I got in a relationship when I was like 16. My second relationship, 16 or 17. And a bunch of boys from my school put him in a group chat just to be like, send pictures of me and be like, oh my God, your girlfriend is so fucking ugly. What is wrong with you? Like that type of ugly, right? I was still in a relationship though. So, you know what I mean? But I feel like a lot of you guys complain. I feel like a lot of you guys constantly complain about how you don't look the way you want to or how other people want you to, and that's why you can't get into a relationship. And that's just not true. Do you guys remember those people who would sit in the fucking hallways in school? That the I'm sorry, band kids. I listen. I was a loser in school. I was a loser. I was what they would call a loser in school. Okay, I have no reason to knock anybody, but this is just an example. The band kids who would sit on the floor and straddle each other, they the band kids always found someone, even though nobody in the school liked them. Nobody in the school thought they were attractive. They were freaky. They were getting freaky. And if you knew band kids, you knew. If you were in the inner circle of band kids, you knew. They were getting freaky. They were getting fucking freaky. So you really can't blame yourself for being unattractive. Get over it. Get over it. Even they didn't want to do a little glow up, but all you really have to do is take care of yourself. All you have to do is take care of yourself. People are constantly complaining about their insecurities, and it's the reason why they can't find anyone or they keep getting rejected. When people are truly just attracted to confidence and people who take care of themselves, it's called basic hygiene. Basic hygiene. Yeah, that's literally fucking it. Just be hygienic and work on your self image. Okay? Listen, nothing is going to save you when it comes to this like makeup or procedures because that's a big reason why today I'm doing a video with my natural hair. And you might say, "Oh, but your bangs, they're straightened." They're not straightened, okay? They're not straightened. The problem is I wallowed in a self-pity about how I looked for so long that I've been like straightening my hair for years so bad that my bangs don't get curly anymore. My bangs don't get curly anymore. The rest of my hair does. My bangs don't. So I couldn't really do anything about that. But that's why I was like, okay, let me do a video with my natural hair because this is getting ridiculous. You can't hide behind these superficial things. I like doing makeup because it is fun, but I also know that I low-key have a toxic relationship with it. But that's why I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm looking at my face and thinking, my face is all right. My face is fine. You know what I mean? It's the face that I have. I'm not getting surgery because that's actually stupid as fuck, and I don't respect it. It's a decision that I absolutely disrespect. Sorry, I know that's not the most popular opinion right now, but your appearance does have a role to play in getting into relationships. It definitely does. Okay. And I know there are a lot of people that complain about it. Girls, first of all, this is a lot of men say this, and girls don't like me. They don't find me attractive. They're so superficial. Dude, it's literally not true. That's the crazy part. Even though literally all you have to do is a guy. That's a crazy thing. You don't even have to like mog, to be honest with you. Mog. First of all, I have dated so many conventionally extremely unattractive guys. By conventional standards, extremely unattractive guys in my life. Okay? And that was because I simply enjoyed their personality. And I know you hear a lot of girls saying that because it's true. It's fucking true. Girls aren't as superficial as you think. That's actually, you're low-key a misogynist. Those are misogynistic viewpoints that you have pummeled into your own brain. And you're using your own misogyny as an excuse for the reason why you're not getting poon. No, the reason why you're not getting poon is because you say shit like that. Your personality is bad. And that's because you harbor a lot of self-loathing, and that's not attractive. The thing is, it's not what you're doing outside. It's not your outward appearance that gets you into a relationship. It is what is inside. I know, oh, that is so not realistic to the real world. It is, especially if you're a man. You got it easy because if anything, men are completely superficial. They, as soon as their wife turns 25, they're their girlfriend or whatever turns 25, they're like, oh, Little bit too old for me. Looks like you're getting wrinkles around the mouth or the forehead or some bullshit. They're not. They never do. But it wouldn't matter either way. It's still wrong. It's still wrong to be like, oh my God, my girlfriend has wrinkles. Let me throw her out like she's trash and find someone who's still in high school. That is superficial, okay? And we've seen a lot of examples of that, okay? Probably some of your dads did that, okay? So, anyways, moving past that, if you're complaining about women being superficial and not liking you, because it's probably a few things, and I'm going to tell you what those few things are. You smell bad. Your hygiene is absolutely awful, and everyone around you can tell but you. I'm going to give you an example. My cousin, he's not my real cousin, but I call him my cousin. He's that type of cousin because he's from the same country as me. He's Egyptian, okay? He's Egyptian, so he's my cousin. Anyways, he is a total fucking smelly guy. He's so smelly and nasty hygienically that all of his potential is completely taken away just because, I'm sorry, it's just like one of the most human instinct things. Like, why would you want to be with someone who's smelly and doesn't take care of themselves? It's not about how they look, it's about how they smell. It's about the the stains on the shirt. It's about the unclipped toenails sticking out of the flip-flops. Just, wash your pits, bro. If your mom has to give you deodorant as a Christmas present, take that as a sign that you need help. Okay? And I know how it feels to not want to take care of yourself. There were many times where I literally didn't brush my teeth. Gross. I didn't do any of that stuff. I know how it feels. But that all stems from what? Where are we going back to? Every single topic in this video? Low self-worth and self-esteem. That's your problem. That's literally your only problem, buddy. Okay? The reason why you don't want to take care of yourself is because you have a low self-esteem. The reason why bitches don't like you is because you have a low self-esteem. Okay? The reason why, it's the same thing for women too. The reason why these dudes don't like you is because you have a low self-esteem. You're always talking about, oh, I'm getting so old. I need to get Botox. I need to get this. I need to get that. I'm telling you right now, it's not attractive to hear someone say that they want to change their face. Every single time one of my female friends, or even my male friends, either or gender, whatever the hell gender they are, whenever one of my friends says that, I'm just like, oh my God, shut up. That makes you so ugly to me because you can't see your worth. I have gone to hell and back trying to convince people that they are beautiful. But guess what? You cannot convince another person they are beautiful. They must be convinced first. I'm sorry, getting veneers and Botox and whatever the fuck, that's not going to make anyone love you anymore. And talking about it to your partner is kind of an ick, or someone you like. It's kind of an ick because you're automatically clocked as someone with low self-esteem. You know what I mean? There are things that you can do to change your appearance that, are healthy for you. For instance, going to the gym. As long as you don't make it a fucking eating disorder type of thing, go ahead and do that because it's healthy for you. It changes your mood. You're probably not going to be in your head all the time thinking, I'm so ugly, I'm so ugly, I'm so ugly. Go to the gym, wash your face, brush your teeth, put on deodorant, take showers. You know what I mean? Do simple stuff. You can put some shit in your hair. I put some coconut oil in my hair today. My hair looks better than it has in a really long time. And the coconut oil was like really cheap. It's really easy. Brush your teeth, fucking do things that are just hygienic. And guess what? Basic hygiene will actually increase your self-confidence. And guess what? Guess what? The whole thing about attraction, it's just confidence. It's just confidence. That's all it is. And I know a lot of you are like, well, I've been unconfident and gotten into relationships. And how were those relationships for you? Yeah. How were those relationships for you? That's all I'm going to say. You already know. But it's just confidence, guys. It's just confidence. When you are starting to build up self-worth, you can start that by basic fucking hygiene, okay? Enhancing your features naturally, enhancing your features in a healthy way, dialing it down on the fake shit. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. And you'll start feeling better. And I'm absolutely not saying I'm against makeup. Obviously, I'm not against makeup. I love makeup. It's just like a really fun, relaxing part of my ritual. But you can't change who you are. And the moment that you try to change who you are, people aren't going to be attracted to that. That's not attractive to anyone. That's not attractive to any man or woman constantly trying to chase after something else. There have been many cases where people stopped loving their partners because they got plastic surgery. You stop being attracted to them because it's not the same person. And you've deluded yourself so much to thinking that you need to change yourself that you didn't even see that people loved you for who you were in the beginning, and that if you would have embraced that, many more people would have loved you as well. Many more people would have been attracted to you. You could have gotten a lot of people who you liked to be attracted to you just with a vote of confidence for yourself. Just give yourself a vote of confidence. You know what I mean? That's all you have to do. My cousin, for instance, was totally fucking gross. And he was like, girls don't like me. First of all, you smell like shit. What girl wants to hug someone who smells like doo-doo feces? Okay? No girl. That's the reason why. It's like simple shit like that, and people will internalize it so much and think it's about who they are as a person or their features they were born with. But it's just like a lack of self-care and a lack of self-respect will not attract anyone. It won't. And that is actually going to bring me to my next point. How do you get into a relationship? How do you do that? How do you find someone who you're meant to be with? How do you stop the toxic cycle of unhealthy relationships? It's actually really simple. It's actually super simple, guys. There are laws of attraction. Okay? There are simple laws. If you follow these laws, you will probably be fine, and you will probably attract more people than you ever thought. Okay? You will become magnetic, as they say. Desperation repels people like nothing else. Desperation repels people like nothing else. Like nothing else. If you are desperate to be in a relationship or be with a specific person, that person is going to pick up on your weird, desperate energy, and they're not going to want you at all. At all. And people often call this a cat and mouse game or whatever the fuck. And they're always like, women are so complicated. They're just playing games. It's human psychology. Women aren't doing this on purpose. Men aren't doing this on purpose. No one is doing this on purpose. It's just basically you will repel anyone with desperation. If you have to act like you necessarily don't care, you know what I mean? If you have to act non-desperate, you don't even want them, then do that shit, because guess what? It works. That's what works. People write whole books about this. I have to make a YouTube video. God damn it. People write whole books about this. You know what I mean? About how to attract people by not being desperate and using psychological tips like that. Like, don't bring out a desperate energy. Detach from the situation, and it will work. And if it doesn't work, it was never meant to be. But it's just as simple as that. Your chances of getting into a relationship increase so much if you just don't put out a desperate energy. And one thing that you guys are doing that's putting out a desperate energy, I hate to say it, those weird relationship memes on Twitter. That only single people are retweeting, that are like, this could be us. And it's like two anime people in bed. I promise you, no person is going to see that and want to be with you. That's cringe. Stop. Just stop doing that. It's giving desperate. It repels poon more than anything in the world, dude. It repels. Every single time I see one of those, I almost throw up. Just don't do that shit. And don't constantly send messages to people and your friends and girls that are like self-pitying about how nobody loves you. Because guess what? You're the reason. You're the reason. You're making people not want you by saying shit like that. It's really about, and how do you not be desperate, you may ask? We're going back to the central point of all of my videos. Self-worth. You have to build self-worth. You have to take the time to take care of yourself before you take care of other people. It's harsh, but it's true. You have to just do it. Wash your face, brush your teeth, wash your fucking hair, take a damn shower, put on deodorant, put on perfume, make yourself feel nice, fall in love with yourself first. Fall in love with yourself first. You have to like yourself at least. Jesus Christ. Because if you don't, you have no choice but to give out a desperate energy. Okay? If you hate yourself, you're always going to give out a desperate energy to be liked. Nobody likes that. That's like why people hate the teacher's pet, because of their desperate energy to be liked by the teacher. You know what I mean? That type of shit. Nobody likes that. Nobody's attracted to that. So it's really about working on your self worth and not chasing and searching for a relationship. Guess what? You're never going to find a relationship when you're actually looking for it. And I know a lot of people get annoyed. I saw this one TikTok the other day that was like, bitches in long term relationships be like, you'll find the right person when you least expect it. It's true. You will. That's literally what happened to me. Like, at the most random time, I was not looking for a long term relationship. I was looking for, flings and stuff, shit like that. I was just bored. I was on summer vacation. And then I ended up in my I ended up with a soulmate on accident, on complete accident. So it's really just that, guys. Stop chasing after some kind of fantasy you have to be in a relationship, because guess what happens? Just like I did when I was doing that shit, I ended up in the most toxic, abusive relationships that gave me the most, literally the most frightening, traumatic experiences of my life, because I wanted to be loved so badly. That's what happens to you when you put out that desperate energy. Not only do people not want to like you, but the worst people become attracted to you. The people who know they can take advantage of you, the people who know they can say shit about you to your face that's like nasty and fucked up, and you won't say a damn thing because you're so desperate for their love. Do you want to be with a person like that for an extended period of time? No, you don't. You actually don't. Those are evil people, and those people aren't your soulmate. Those people are just, they're there, unfortunately, to be a lesson to you. And you can either take the lesson like I did, or you could keep learning that lesson over and over and over again until you believe that love is just not for you. Because that's basically what most of you guys are doing. That's what most of you guys are doing. When you're like, I just don't think it's for me. Nobody loves me. It's because you're refusing to learn the lesson. You're acting insane. It's that thing that Einstein said. If you do the same method over and over again, that's fucking insanity, bro. You're actually insane. You need to change your method, bro. You need to change your method. And sometimes the best method for finding your soulmate is no method. Don't do anything. Sit back, relax. You will run into them someday, and it will be like, whoa, what the fuck was I tripping out about? You know what I mean? It'll be the most random thing, but it'll be the best thing. And just stop. Just lay back and relax. Of course, put yourself out there. Go out into the world, experience things, but don't do it for the sole reason of finding a relationship. One example is 90 Day Fiance. Those people go to other countries for the sole reason to find a partner, and it always turns out to be a shitty relationship because this person is dumb as fuck. If they have bad intentions, sometimes they find the right person, but that's because they're not coming out desperate. You know what I mean? They're not coming off desperate and willing to do anything for another person. Because it doesn't matter if you're looking for a green card or if you're just a person who already has US citizenship, you know what I mean? And just wants to take advantage of someone because you're that type of person. Yeah, a bad person will find you if you are putting out that energy of being desperate. That's just what happens. But if you're putting out the energy of, I'm living my life, I'm adventuring, you know what I mean? That's probably not going to happen to you. You're probably going to have the time of your fucking life and find someone that you'll never forget. You know what I mean? Like a great person. That's what happens. That's what happens when you're living for yourself and not to find someone else to fill that hole in your heart. Okay? That's not what a relationship is for. It's not to fill a fucking void that your parents left or whatever the fuck you're searching for. That's not what it's for. Okay? It's to experience life together. That's literally it. And it's the funnest thing ever if you find the right person. Yeah, it can be really fun. It takes work sometimes, especially if you are probably like traumatized or whatever. But guess what? You have to take that initiative, and so does your partner. Yeah, you have to collaborate on things. You have to be like a team. If you ever want to get out of that toxic cycle of relationships, yeah, you have to find someone who's willing to work towards having a happy life. And you can't keep complaining about these people that you're meeting that are ruining your life because they don't want to be happy and you don't want to be happy, and it's both of y'all's fault. Okay? It only takes one of you guys to walk away. Either boss up or walk the fuck away. That's it. You're never going to be happy if you're living for another person or ignoring your feelings for another person. It's not going to happen. You're not going to find that soulmate connection. Don't waste your fucking time. You can waste years in relationships that you're not supposed to be in. That's years of your life. You only live once, bro. Stand up. Focus on yourself and you will find that person. It just takes focusing on yourself. It just takes focusing on yourself. It just takes focusing on yourself. That's all. That's all. That's literally the point of this video. And I'm sorry if I seemed a little harsh. I am quitting. Wow. I am quitting nicotine, so I'm kind of tweaking right now, a little bit more irritated than usual. But I think that fueled what I needed to say for this video, because I just wanted to kind of get it into your head that it's not about finding a relationship. It's about finding you. It's about finding you. And then when you find you, so many people will want to find your ass. They'll be like, oh my God, I love this person. I want to be with them forever. This person is so confident in themselves. This person is so stable in themselves. This person knows themselves. This person is able to give love because they love themselves. Okay? That's what people want. That's what people want in a relationship. That's what you probably want in a relationship, right? So stop expecting other people to deal with your desperate, low self-esteem bullshit and not leave you, okay? Work on yourself first. It's about you. It's all about you, girl. On the everyday, yay. Not just your 16th birthday. It's all about you, Pearl. Yeah, so just remember that. It's all about you. Oh my God, Momo is such a narcissist. She thinks it's all about you. Yeah, I do. It's all about me. And that's how I was able to get into a healthy relationship. That took a lot of work because I wasn't this healthy when I got into the relationship, but guess what? You can work on that. If you're both willing to make a change, you will make a change. And we both were, so we did. It's easy as that. It's just easy as that. It's just so easy. You just need to find the right person who actually loves you, actually cares about you, and actually cares about themselves to a certain degree. You know, you got to work on it. You got to work on it. And if you can't do that together with someone else, you got to do it on your own. I'm sorry. You have no choice. You literally have no choice. If you want to be happy, that's what you have to do. Get to work. You cannot keep dimming your light for another person who is not probably your soulmate. That's somebody else's. Leave them alone. Let them find each other. And you can find who you're truly supposed to be with. But that is kind of what I wanted to say. But I also wanted to say, don't let heartbreak completely ruin your life. Stop sulking. It's going to be okay. Move the fuck on. Actually, the best piece of advice is get some chicken nuggets. So when I went through my first breakup, it was genuinely like I was sobbing so fucking loud. So I called my mother. I was 13. I can't go by myself. I called my mother and I was like, my boyfriend just broke up with me. And she said, okay, let's go get some chicken nuggets. And I am telling you guys right now, those chicken nuggets completely made me feel I felt completely better. It was like nothing even happened. I just needed a 20-piece chicken nug. So that's all you got to do. Get a 20-piece chicken nug and a Dr. Pepper maybe. Eat and drink that. And then work on your self-concept, bitch. And that's all I have to say for this video. Always, new update. Not as always. As of now, I'm posting one video a week and one episode of my podcast, Yapology 101. Podcast / lecture. There is homework that you will have to do. If not, you will be punished. Not like that. That's gross. But if you enjoy my channel, that's what I'm doing right now. Check it the frick out. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for watching all the way until the end. You are such a real one, and you're an epic Sigma. Stay Sigma. Stay epic. Bye.